What's up, everybody? My original intro is unusable due to a heavy rain beating on the roof of the camper, so I am stringing together some B-roll to share my story this video is going to be about. A few weeks ago, me and a longtime friend of mine went down to Bowling Green, Kentucky for Moparty 2024, which is a giant Mopar event, competition, show, and celebration of everything Mopar. We took the camper down and stayed at the local KOA. Wonderful park, huge shout out to them. We got down on Friday and got set up right before a monster storm rolled through, so I made burgers and buns from inside the Crusader kitchen. They came out wonderful, we had a great time, and you're gonna love this. So let's get cooking. So I made this batch of dough the day before and kept it in the fridge in plastic wrap, as you can see. And to get started, I let it sit out on the counter for about an hour before I began handling it. And boom, right there I can pick up on step 6 from the bun recipe that I used. No floury mess in the camper, no sticky bowls to wash, and perfectly fresh buns coming my way. So I decided to make 3 buns out of this dough, which is half of a batch, and I should have made 4 or 5, but oh well, I'm still learning. I made my dough balls and let them rise covered for another 90 minutes before baking. And then it was time to make my burger patties. This is the ground brisket and bacon I made in the maiden voyage video with the mixer and meat grinder. It is 80% brisket and 20% bacon. I make 3 patties out of a pound of meat for third-pound burgers, and I like to do this up front so that after forming the patties, they go back in the fridge for a little while, and what this does is it lets any moisture that was worked out during forming reconstitute. I also recommend not seasoning at this point. Since it is ground, the muscle has been compromised and salt and seasonings will absorb the moisture, and that is not conducive for a juicy burger. Alright, so it has been an hour and a half of rising. Let's take a peek at what we got here. Okay. So they're monsters. I probably should have separated them into 4. That's okay. But we're gonna go ahead and get the oven ignited and preheated. So in my oven, I think it fell down over here. We had some rough roads. I'll go ahead and hang it up here. 2 weeks ago, I made a short of doing this very similar thing from a different campground, just wanting to know if this was a viable option for us. That was the second time I've ever used this oven. Normally I like cooking outside when I'm camping, but as you've seen if you're a part of the channel for a while, kind of got into baking this summer, and I want to learn how to use this. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get it lit. It usually takes 5 minutes. If this is the last time you ever see me with eyebrows, my bad. So first thing you want to do, make sure your ventilation is on. And let's see here. Go ahead and grab a lighter. And you have to push and hold pilot and go down here. There's the pilot. I'm going to keep holding it. And then I'm going to turn it to S350. I found that we have to go to, I think it was 450 degrees is actually where I want to be. That's not the real temperature. I'm going to go ahead and look through my notes that I conveniently left at home, so I hope I have that saved on my phone, what we need. Once it's preheated, the buns go in, we'll bake them for, it took 20 minutes, and then we'll make our burgers. Cool. See you guys here when this gets warmed up. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes. We have the dial set to 450 degrees. I did check my recipe. I have it saved in my favorites in my phone. We are looking for 400 degrees, and you can see 450 degrees is actually 400 degrees. This little oven thermometer works really well. It is an essential for camping, in my opinion. So we're gonna go ahead and place these bad boys in. I'm gonna set a timer for 20 minutes, see how they look. Let them cool a little bit, make some burgers. Make sure you stick around to see how we're making that, since we're not cooking outside today, since it's kind of crummy. Yep, that's how camping works. And after 20 minutes, I pulled the buns out and they were nice and golden brown. It wasn't until I sat down to edit this video that I realized I forgot the egg wash. But we didn't seem to miss that step. They came out awesome nonetheless. To cook our burgers, I am using this Lodge cast iron grill pan. I ended up buying a second one just for the camper because I loved the one at the house so much. To season our burgers, I'm using just my 2-to-1 kosher salt and black pepper. With these burgers being brisket and bacon, I'm letting the flavor of the meat do the work instead of the seasoning profile. I try to keep the number of flips to a minimum. The more flips lead to more moisture escaping. Now, these burgers have pork in them, so it is pertinent to ensure they come up to a minimum of 145 degrees. You need to make sure you have a reliable, accurate, instant read thermometer. ThermoPro is the only thermometer I trust at home and in the Crusader kitchen. This is my TP18. It takes the guesswork out of burgers, steaks, poultry, and so much more, whether I'm at home or on the road. Thank you, ThermoPro, for ensuring my friend and I will be healthy and with a full belly for Moparty tomorrow. Once the burgers are done and up to temp, I give them one final flip just to help get the cheese all nice and melty. Well, I thought that sharp cheddar was the right choice for this burger, and well, it was. So I cut my buns right before I need them to ensure the absolute freshest possible texture, and suddenly it is time to build. Ryan's is easy as he passes on the vegetables, and I want some tomato and lettuce on mine. And I would have liked some mayo, but I forgot that conveniently back in Ohio. But look at this thing. Fresh buns made right here in the camper. A burger patty boasting brisket and bacon. Wonderfully melted cheese and a modest selection of fresh toppings. Let's check out how it tastes. What do you think about that? Look at this monster burger. It didn't, honestly, I'm not mad about the bun being a little large. 3rd-pound patty, brisket bacon burger. We got sharp cheddar, tomato, green leaf lettuce, Ryan Son's garden, and that's okay. We left all the condiments at home. You always forget something. Or in my case today, how many things am I up to? 5 now?
At least.
Oops. All right. Here we go.
We are in the South, as they would say. It'll make you want to slap your mama.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Tender, juicy.
I'm never buying burger buns again.
Danny does it better.
Mm. Can you taste the bacon?
It's interesting because it has the same texture as just an all beef burger, but the flavor's completely different.
Yeah. There's you can taste the brisket.
It's like eating a steak.
Yeah.
Just chock full of flavor.
Oh my gosh.
This was so much fun. So you were sitting here with me. It took us several hours to get to this point. But how much time was I actually working? It was not much. Guys, that's what I wanted to show you in today's video. I did a lot of the planning at home. I left a lot of stuff at home. We still made do. I want to encourage you guys to try stuff on the road when you're camping, or take a kit similar to this over to your friend's house and go visit them. Make the mess at home, but show them that they can do this. If I can do this, you can certainly do this, and that's what this channel is all about. I'm not a professional. I'm gonna forget things. I'm gonna mess things up, but I want to see everybody try this. This was so much fun. I want to thank my friend Ryan for coming with me on this trip this weekend, and I want to thank you guys for being here. If you don't mind, consider hitting that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I do this every week, not this, but something every week to try to inspire you to learn more like I'm trying to do. And until next week, be well. Really good.